Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fullygeekedladies. As you already know, I'm T.
I'm Sharifa.
And I'm Paulina.
Hey, this week we have a thrilling episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about the Wendy Williams, the movie. I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure for some of you, but hey. And we're going to talk about the new Amazon Prime show. I was going to say Snowfall, but it's not Snowfall. It's Soulmate.
Soulmate.
You're not going to catch me slipping today. So without further ado, we're just going to start off with the Wendy Williams movie. It stars a lady called Kiera Payton. If you don't know her, she was in The Walking Dead, and she's also in The Oval, which is a Tyler Perry movie. It stars a guy called Morocco Amari, who was Tariq in Empire. I can't remember him, but he was Tariq in Empire. He's been in Prison Break, and he's also in Homeland, and he plays Kevin Hunter, who is her wife. And then you've got a guy called Adrian Nebbit, who was Charlemagne the Guard. So those of you that don't know, you should know. Everybody knows Wendy Williams. How you doing? A lifetime special. It's pretty much a docu-film about her life. So Paulina, what did you think about this movie?
Well, for me personally, I'm not someone who follows celebrities, but obviously we all know who Wendy Williams is. So I thought, let me have a little gander, just have a look. So when I first started watching it, I was like, okay, the woman acting her, initially I didn't think she depicted her too well. But I'll hold me to that when I come back to it. But no, I thought.
What do you mean by that?
Because she also had a Lifetime documentary which actually showed Wendy Williams talking about her life and then the events. So when I actually saw Wendy Williams speak, I was like, okay, she did quite well to mimic Wendy Williams. But in terms of her life, I feel like it was quite sad in terms of the reason why she probably is the way she is. So it was interesting to see, because I'm not someone who follows celebrities to know or necessarily care, but to have that insight, it's like, okay, it makes sense why she's so messy or so into people's business. One, because that's how she's made her money, and two, because of her childhood. And like leading up to the events of the sequence of things, like you realize how much childhood does affect your life into adulthood. So I thought it was good. It was quite sad, but it was good. It was a good depiction because I went on to watch the real life documentary after, but we can get into that later. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I like bits of it, but quite a lot of it I found quite cheesy. I felt like they tried too hard to make it into this. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me, certain bits. I was just like, it's like they acted it too much. Like it was difficult. Yeah, it was overacting in certain bits. And even like Kevin, he's acting. I was just like, what are you doing? Like he was trying to be that thug. Like it was over the top. And even her as Wendy, yes, she did good. Like certain bits she did really good as Wendy. But even her voiceover, her saying her story, it was a bit too, I don't know. It was just certain bits were just cheesy for me. And it was just too I don't know. But I get what you mean by how her childhood has affected her growing up. But at the same time, it's just Wendy. She likes being in people's business. It's not just about her childhood or what she's been through. It's what she likes to do. So I don't think we can blame her being in people's business on her childhood. I think that's just what she likes to do. So
no, I say that because she's basically, she has grown up with her, everybody. She was bigger, she was taller, her own parents made her feel inadequate. So in the order to maybe deflect off of her, she got into other people's business. And then it's something that just followed her throughout life. And then she realized she actually has a passion for being nosy. She actually has a passion for radio. So she's put all of her passions together and she's made something out of herself. In terms of being cheesy, she actually wrote the thing herself. So of course you're going to depict yourself in like, I'm amazing.
No, but that's why I'm shocked, because someone like Wendy, she's always glammed herself about being the realist. Be real. And to be honest, she was quite real in a lot of aspects, showing what went on with her and her ex-husband now. But I just found it too la-di-da for someone like Wendy. It was too fairy tale girl. I went through struggles, and now look at me. Oh my God, I'm in a beautiful mansion in New York.
But that's how she talks.
New York. It has to be all about me. Fabulous. I get it. But at the same time, I was just a bit too, I was a bit disappointed. I actually wanted to see her just
Okay,
take
so
off
I've
all
got a
of that,
question.
take off all of that, and just be real.
Maybe she was like that in the documentary, but we didn't see it.
She was,
Yeah.
because like she was crying. She looked like, I've just woken up.
Yes,
I'm still in my
that's what I
90.
mean.
My wig's not straight. I'm sweating. I looked at, like, she was like raw, and even when she was crying, like, it was proper like, oh, seeing a human side of her, not just how y'all do it or whatever. It was more like a personal side of her. So not that I care for her, like in that regard, but it made me have more empathy towards her and why she is a bit of a dragon because of what she's been through. But question, if you guys had a Lifetime show, how would you depict it if you're saying that it was cheesy? Like, wouldn't you put your best foot forward in that regard?
I would never do one, first of all, and if I did, I would just be true. I'm not just saying it because I'm just saying, but if I want people to really see what I've been through or about my life, I would want it to be as real as it can be. I'm not going to make it cheesy, because then I might as well just be writing a fiction, something that's just not about me. So I don't know. I would never do one because, again, I would want to be so real, and I am not ready for people to see everything I've been through in my life. But again, she wanted to do it for the entertainment and the ratings. So I guess, yeah, go ahead, Wendy. How are you doing?
I think she wanted to do it to actually, because she's always talking about everyone else. So she's like, well, I'll be the one to talk about myself. I think that's what it was. Why do I sound like a Wendy advocate? Like I'm
Anyway, you know what? How are you doing over there, T? Because you haven't said, how do you feel about this Lifetime?
She is not.
Okay, I agree and disagree. The film for me was cheesy, and I think it was done on purpose because Wendy wanted to take the full effects of what she went out of it. She didn't want it to be too serious. So there all that comical and how you doing and how she's talking and I got my boobs done and that I personally think that was done on purpose. So it makes light of it because she knows she cusses people. She knows she's in business. If she tries to make this something serious, she knows that she's going to get critiqued very hard.
Okay.
So in order to, for me, my view is in order for her to in order for no one to actually critique her, she's done everything in it the way that she would want it to do. So no one can say anything, because if they did, they say, yeah, it was meant to be like that, duh. And then you're just sitting there with a closed mouth. I'm not gonna lie, it was interesting learning about her life because I have watched the Wendy Williams show, and I think that every one of us watched the Wendy Williams show in one point in our time. And I look at her, and my view of her was this woman that's just had when I say a normal life, as in she's had loving parents who loved her, she went to school, she did this, and then she decided to do whatever she needed to do. So it was interesting to see that actually, no, she was bigger, she was taller, her parents actually didn't love her the way she wanted to be loved. It was interesting to see that she actually went and got a boob job, because I know it sounds so weird, but her body is awkwardly shaped. However, I actually thought that those are
natural. Me too.
No. How?
Yeah, but they did.
Because you do get people that
triangle shaped body.
Well, Sharon from EastEnders.
Johnny Bravo.
You know what it was? I thought that she was a person that was quite large and had lost weight, but some people that are quite large and lose weight can't lose weight on their boobs. They can't lose weight
everywhere. Yeah.
So I thought that she just had big boobs. So it was interesting to see that, you know, she didn't, and she had a boob job. I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. I'm glad that she was honest and open about her taking drugs. I was glad, and I like the fact that she was also open and honest about her miscarriages. All of those things that you're absolutely right will affect a person. However, they get to a point in life, and yes, you have made your money with telling people's business, but I think it's the way she does it.
Yes,
you know what
that's
I mean?
The thing. It's
no filter.
It's not like when it's not about like, because we all do it. We all say, "Oh, my girl, I got some tea for you." You know, the girl. But then when you're now adding some shade, or when you've acquired the information, like I don't know, like when she fell out with Nene apparently had told her some stuff that she told her in confidence, and then she went on her air and aired it. Yeah, fair enough, it's for your show, but there's a limit. Do you know what I mean? There's a limit to what you can say. There's a limit.
But I think that's expected from her, though.
No,
Yeah,
but
but my point
she
is,
has no friends.
exactly. My point is, although it's expected from her, it's not an excuse. You can't say I'm like that because my parents bullied me because I was.
No, of course not.
You can't say because you're married, your husband cheated on you, or you had numerous amount of I was going to say abortions, but she didn't.
Miscarriage, yeah.
She had one abortion.
Yeah, you can't say all these things happen to you. That's why you're the way you are. And yeah, we all want gossip. The news, 9 o'clock news, BBC News, whatever, it's all gossip. Some of it is factual. I mean, it's not gossip. It's information from somewhere. Do you understand? She's providing us with information, but she's doing it in a way, oh yeah, I heard that some girl from Total slept with this person and
it's too judgmental and too it's like,
but that's why people love it, because she's not scared to do it, because people do it anyway, so she's just got a platform to do it on, and that's why people like her.
But then you've got to
answer to these people.
Exactly. And
she doesn't care. She don't care.
Is, seriously, when I look at Wendy, I honestly think, what really and truly is your mental health state like? Really and truly, because you are getting a lot of flack. You get some people, she gets people coming on her show, whatnot, that's fine. But a lot of people in that industry, you're never gonna get the Beyonces or the Kelly Rowlands or the Michelle Williams coming on your show. You're never gonna get people that have exceeded, like Rihanna's not coming on your show. You know,
a lot of people that one.
But in her Lifetime documentary, she actually said is her reason why she's having so many miscarriages because it's her karma for the way she's been treating people. So she does know in her back of her mind that.
Then why would you stop? Why would you?
Yeah.
So this is
where it's made her money.
Yeah, but this is where people say money is the root of all evil. But you're going to continue doing evil to get money. Like, come on, sis. Like, do you know what I mean? And if that's how you feel, life is precious. You understand?
My thing is, sorry to interject. My thing is, where she is now, I know you're saying what's the point in carrying on and doing it if you feel like it's evil, but in the world of social media, most of the things that she's saying is already out there anyway. She's not saying anything that's different. She's just discussing it the way some other podcasts are discussing it. Some other, without naming any platforms, there are so many platforms that are doing it, little chat people that are doing it. So again, she's just doing it. She's just getting more of a uproar about some of the things she does because she's Wendy. That's how she has made her money.
She adds more salt to the stew. Do you understand?
She's got no filter with it. That's what it is.
Say her opinion.
Yeah.
She won't say, "Oh, your husband cheated on you. It's so sad." She'll be like, "Your husband cheated on you. It's so sad," but he wouldn't.
Maybe you should have done this.
Yeah.
I told you I was a bitch. Like, really?
She doesn't have shame in that regard. You're right.
And that's the problem. Is I don't mind her. You know, don't get me wrong. We all, like you said, there's so many platforms. We all listen to gossip and we all follow whatever platform on social media that
we sure do, without naming a few.
This one, that one. But when you're now adding salt,
it's
like, okay, it's
and I think because she's now Wendy, you're now Wendy, right? All the other people that are talking about it, all the other groups that we follow on Instagram are not A-listers. They're here. That's their job. She kind of, she's not an A-lister. She's not an A-lister, but she is
someone.
She's someone. Do you get what I mean? So she should have
made a name
about people in that way. Even if she's going to bring out the tea, was the tea Wendy? There's a way to bring it out, And I agree with T. I think now with the platform she has, she is the author of her own direction. She can change it the way she wants. She's made her money. She's made her Wendy Williams show. She can tell them, look, it's not working for me to do it this way anymore. I want to now start empowering my people instead of tearing them down. So I want to do it in this direction. She could actually do that. That's what some people get annoyed with her. Okay, you've made your money. You've made your dirty money. Now change the direction. Let uplift instead of making it into let me just do what's the tea. I know that's what people tune in for, but if she really starts talking about people in a better light, people will still tune in. Because anyone could go and get their tea anywhere they want nowadays. You could go on Twitter and you can find out so much anyway about people. So
and I find she's selective. I do find, like, again, I could be wrong, but there are certain people that she doesn't talk about. Like, I haven't seen her talk about Beyonce.
Oh no, she has.
Right, so she spoke about everyone, even the whole Whitney Houston. So on her Lifetime documentary, she actually explained why she aired, you know how Whitney Houston, she recorded Whitney Houston in private and then aired it on the radio show. She doesn't care. As long as it gets her ratings, she's not bothered. As long as it makes her show number one wherever she is, she's not bothered. She doesn't care if she has to throw under the bus. But I feel like I feel like she's done this because of her husband having a 20-year affair, rather than it being because she just feels like being vain. But can you imagine a whole 20-year affair?
I feel like he met that girl around the same time he met Wendy, or before Wendy.
Yeah, but she's young. The girl's only like 30-something.
Yeah, but I feel like he knew about her way early on, and he just went along with Wendy because that was his bread and butter. That's just my opinion. I know we're not Fully ladies, we don't gossip. But just my opinion. From watching that, I just feel like it's been a long term that he's always had that woman there. And it's just Wendy. He did I do believe he loved Wendy, even if it wasn't initially. I do believe he did. Like I believe he did, and he felt he couldn't leave her because she had no one. Who did she have apart from her son and her parents? She really did not have anyone. So I feel like he was just doing the Superman or the save a woman thing and just be there whilst having his side piece. He moved into a house, you know,
across the street, not far from her.
He had everything he wanted without her having to kick him out. So he just thought, you know what, let me just keep this going. I can still get my check whilst, you know, keeping her busy. And he was her manager. Why is he going to leave her when that's his bread and butter?
Exactly.
The reason why they were portraying Kevin as a thug, because apparently in the documentary he actually had that persona. So like people knew him to be like, I'm gonna F you up if you
that was him.
That was him. He was a thug. He actually was.
Yeah.
Like both of you said, I think Jamal it was Morocco, his name was Morocco, overplayed that.
That's my issue. With the hat going like this, going. You know the bit that made me laugh? I died. You know when what was the girl group called?
Yeah.
Look, what are you guys doing here? Come on here, baby. Come here. You're right. I'm like,
even the fact that she had that interaction and she was like, oh my God, and staying behind people.
But now that you mention it, that she did it intentionally, I feel like she did it intentionally to take the mickey out of biopics, because biopics are known, Lifetime are known to have these kind of
dramas
out that just like, that wasn't acted well. So I feel like she intentionally made it look silly and then did the documentary to show the serious side.
Yes,
so that makes sense now that we discuss it.
What did you guys think of I think her name's Kira Payton's acting as portrayal as Wendy?
Initially, as Paulina said, and then as I watched it, I was just like, okay, especially when her weave changed and everything, I was like, I can see she does have a Wendy-esque. She just needed to uplift her eyes a bit more. That was the bit that I wanted.
Yeah, because Wendy's like,
I wanted more of that, and then I really believe and be like, but I think she was all right.
I mean, I don't know who else they would have got to play her, to be honest. So she wasn't bad, but it was just it was a little bit mismatched for me, because it wasn't, I don't know. Watching it first before the documentary, if I'd watched it the other way around, would I have maybe thought, okay, she did quite well? But because I've watched Lifetime first, without knowing too much about Wendy, it was a bit of a mismatch for me.
Do you like Wendy then? Not that you've never, not
like I have empathy towards her. Because like she's a human and
like
who's gone
watch a Wendy Williams show.
No, honey.
I
can't. If it's something juicy, but I've never actually gone out of my way to sit down and watch the show.
Don't like Paulina. We gonna see you in the audience when you go to the
we're like, no, honey. No, because I really do not care. I don't care for celebrities like that. I say that though, but I remember when I met Leanne Havas, I got so flustered, I started speaking an American accent. So I don't know if it's someone I really care about.
That sounds so like you.
I was like, oh my God. She lives in Hackney. She's bloody my age. I was like, oh my God, are you Leanne Havas? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, but no, I wouldn't watch the show. Can't lie. I mean, the only one I watched is when she went and collapsed.
Had an attack.
That was so embarrassing.
I'm glad you showed that as well, because I guess she.
Do you think it was real?
What?
No, she had an attack.
Who faints like that though?
No, I don't think it was I think something was wrong with her. She was either having.
She said she was too hot in that costume and the lights. I remember It was a big thing because I remember when it was all over social media, when Williams Fate's life.
I didn't actually laugh much about that because I was actually worried for her.
I laughed and then I realized that when someone aired the show and then showed that she
looks scared.
She was not. Yeah, she was worried. She said that she was
wearing wigs
and the lights got too hot, so she fainted. But at the same time, I think she was going through rehab at that stage as well. And it's really, that was another thing that I had a bit more empathy towards her, with the fact that, and this is similar to the Britney Spears situation, that someone has control of your life like that they can actually put you into rehab or hospital. That's frightening.
That'd make you go more crazy.
That makes you go more crazy.
But then it's those things, and when you just said that she felt that it was karma, that she was having those miscarriages, I don't know. At that point, would you not just think, ding, 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 okay, I need to change my life?
I think that's what's happened, because she's not really on air like that now, is she?
No, she's still doing it. She's still doing What's the Tea with Wendy, yeah.
Oh, right. I don't know, but I feel like it's going to get to a point in her life where she has to be like, okay, I think I'm done, because I don't know what more she can be sitting there doing and then go and retire happily. Like,
this is what makes her happy, I suppose. So
yeah,
just go. Just
same, really.
Can we just talk about Charlemagne, the guy that acted as Charlemagne? He looked older than Charlemagne now, and they're supposed to be back in.
You know what? I did not even clock that was meant to be Charlemagne.
So she had to say it. I don't think she had to say it because we all did not know who.
Yikes! Yeah, it wasn't good.
And it's so sad because when I was trying to research who played Charlemagne, I don't think this guy's ever had like an acting career. I think they just got this guy that they thought that looked like Charlemagne.
I feel like she actually did that as a
shade. Probably. He's a radio host.
He actually employed him. That's like they're
probably her cousin or something.
They were friends. They were really good friends. The story has it that they were proper tight.
Right.
Yeah.
At one point, yeah.
Anywho, Wendy, you've got enough airtime for the Fullygeekedladies.
I wish
how y'all doing?
Over and out. We got some juicy things to talk about now. So, Amazon Prime has picked up the rights to an AMC sci-fi program called Soulmate, which aired on the 8th of February 2021 for us UK people. It was written and directed by a guy called William Bridges, and if you know him already, you will know that he's the guy that's been involved in things like Stranger Things and Black Mirror. So if you have seen the show, it should make sense. Soulmates tells a collection of stories set in the future about people who take a test to actually find their soulmate. It's set over 6 episodes, and FGL are going to talk to you about the first 3 this week, and we will go on to the next couple of weeks or the other 2. So episode 1 was called Watershed. It was set in 2023, where scientists have discovered the soul particle in the human body, which enables you to find your soulmate. But in order to find your soulmate, you have to take the test. This episode stars Sarah Snook from Succession. You guys know that I've been talking about this program.
We'll get
to watch it. It also stars Kingsley Ben Adir. He was in a program called High Fidelity, and they play a married couple who are yet to take a test in a world where all their friends have potentially taken the test or are thinking about doing it. So, Sharifa, what did you think about episode 1, Watershed?
Well. I thought it was interesting because I feel like even if you are in a couple marriage, the peer pressure of other people doing it gets you in, and then it's just that when you guys have an argument, I'm going to go and take the test. When he doesn't take the bin out, I'm going to go and take the test. Is that thing? I just didn't like the idea of a soulmate test in general anyway. When I was watching it, it was interesting to watch. I was just like, I strongly believe that everyone has more than just one soulmate in life. Because if you think about it, there is someone on the other side of the world that likes exactly what you like. Whereas on the other side of the world, I just feel like this was it is it 7 degrees or 5 degrees of separation? I forgot. What was it again?
I think it's 5 degrees.
The 5 degrees of separation. So I just believe that there are, for one person, you do have you could have possibly
other.
loads of soulmates, not always necessarily the person you're with. You are with that person because chance and life has made you guys meet. So I just don't understand how anyone could think a test could just find that one person that's for them. And anyway, so with that episode,
6
degrees. So I said 7 and 5. He said 5.
One in the middle.
Right. Yeah. So with this episode, she opened Pandora's box. You decided to keep going on about this test, right? You kept going on, and this is something that as a woman, we do it. We sometimes want to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, saying, ooh, yeah. And then when it comes to you, it's just like, nah. And we do it even with ordering food. We always tend to just, when it comes, you're like, ooh, can I have a bit of a taste of your chips? So it's she just opened that box. She opened that box, and he just thought, you know what? He was scared. She wasn't communicating. She wasn't telling him how she was exactly feeling. She was just going from one mood to the next mood. So how was he supposed to know? He thought he was losing her. So he thought, you know what? Let me not be the one that's going to be left in the dark. Let me do the test as well. So she kind of said that. What I don't understand is you guys have 2 kids. Does it really matter if someone's your soulmate? Doesn't matter. Look at your friend. Your friend got kicked down the road because she decided to go and do the test and her husband didn't do the test. I was fuming. I was actually a bit annoyed. I was just like, why would you even consider it? But it seems like that's what the world they were living in, that it was actually normal to just go and do a test. It's nothing. So anyway, how it ended was interesting to me because they both realized they still want to be with each other. So what was the point?
What was the reason? No, I feel like if you know that you have a soulmate who's perfectly your match, regardless of your situation, and you want to grow old and be happy, why wouldn't you want to know what that is? Personally, for me, I mean, I don't mind taking the test if it exists. Because she's single as a Pringle, honey. She's single out here. But I would rather know who my soulmate is and not waste time, because I want to be happy in that regard, because you've chosen that person. But if scientifically you're going to be a match, my question as well was, why as soon as they found their soulmate did they all just leave their partners all of a sudden?
It's like a normal thing, because I feel like there's a guilty thing there of
curiosity. It was
my soulmate, found my soulmate, babe. So it was meant to just let go.
But I think what was making it like build up was the fact that she's around her. She's seeing everyone being so lovey. Everyone was so like into each other. She's looking at her husband. It's not that she had to force, let's go and have a dance. It wasn't like an initiative for them to both go and dance. It was always like she had to lead him to it. So she's not getting what she wants from him.
I think it's all about this.
It is a mind thing, yes.
Because before any of this, you were fine.
It took one person to ask her the question, but the fact that it took one person to ask the question means you weren't happy there in the first place.
No.
Are you joking?
I think when someone plants the seed,
someone triggers something in you, then you're like, actually,
that could be that was the trigger. The trigger for me, I'm fully with you, Sharifa. The trigger is someone was like, I'm going to take the test, which was her friend, and or you just don't know, you just need to know, blah blah blah. And then she then decided, he's not really like loving me the way he's loving me today. And every relationship goes through their ups and downs. So when you're around people that seem to be happy, should I say, and then you're now not happy or whatever, then the trigger, is he not my soulmate? Is he not this? But the reality is, and I guess because it's a story, they're not going to show us how they met and all the rest of it. They probably had those arguments and those disagreements beforehand, and they did say, and they got over it. But the curiosity killed the cat, because she wanted to see, if I get my soulmate, am I going to be happy all the time? And that's a very, for me personally, that's the biggest misconception. Just because you find your soulmate, it does not mean that you're going to be happy all the time. Life and society and things around you are going to dictate how you feel.
That's what I strongly believe.
And it's true. I agree.
The soulmate thing is pants. Like Sharifa said, at the end, he realized, like, oh crap, like this is
I'm stuck.
What's he gonna do now? Run to his wife,
who can't do anything,
who is already. And I feel that she was happier with her new guy. I think it was Peter.
He accepted her because he was always like, oh, we're always late, and he was like, oh, this is my for late. The new guy. So I think to her, she does like.
She looked back.
Look back, curious. You're looking at me.
It was almost like, he's not happy, but I kind of feel that
she didn't want to take the test. He took the test.
Exactly.
So he technically broke up the family, even though she put it out there. She didn't do it in the end. So he technically broke up the family.
I felt her looking back was, and she didn't look back as a, she looked back as a, like,
I get it.
Because they were having a moment and then she came down the stairs like, oh, girls are ready, whatever. So I think if they had a bit longer, she might have reciprocated what he was saying.
Her aura for me, I think she still loves him, because I guess especially when you have kids with someone, unless the person's a complete and utter horrible person, well, regardless of whether that person's a horrible person, the minute you have kids with them, you love them to let me take that back. Okay. I feel that she had something. There was something. She still has love for him, but there was a way she was portrayed at the end. I get she looked back, but I kind of feel like, well, it was more for me. I got the sense of, that's your loss, isn't it? You went to take the test, and
that's the case of a man.
And you know, oh, you're upset. Oh, okay, but you went to take the test. You could have still been with me, but no. There was.
But then her head was turned back a bit too long for someone to not be bothered.
It was a bit too long.
It was looking a lot for a while.
It was. She really looked like.
It was like down the road.
It was a thinking, like she was thinking deep, kind of looking back.
There's a look, and then there's a
look, and she was really thinking like, or is he actually right? That's what I got from it.
Maybe.
And I feel like when you separate and then you both have children, I think that's where it's messy. So if they technically don't have kids with their other new partners, then they have a way of getting back to each other without hurting anyone's feelings, other than the two they've left, if anything. But obviously we'll never know. I don't think they're going to be doing part 2 of these storylines. But
that story. But another thing I would say about the whole soulmate issue, I strongly believe in yin and yang. I believe that sometimes in a partnership you're not exactly the same, like as much as, and I like that. Like I'm very chatty, my other half is not chatty. Like it works because if we're both chatty, dinner time will be a headache.
You would be eating.
Let me finish. So that's why so that's why when they say scientifically you're perfect match,
it's quite true actually.
That's someone that's just like you. And as we'll see in the other episodes, some people that are just like you, it just doesn't work. You don't want it.
But it can work when you're similar because you understand each other's
similar, not
but then
perfect.
You can never be the same as someone anyway.
Exactly. And
you can never be the same.
Clash.
But I think that's what makes it like fun, because you're like you're just
clashing.
Clashing. No, sorry, you're not hearing. But when you're like, you get on.
You're fiery at times.
Yeah, I feel like
you can be fiery and be opposites as well. I don't know.
There has to be.
Well, if one person's quiet who doesn't like confrontation and the other one is like, then
just because you're quiet, it doesn't mean you don't like confrontation.
But so I'm compromises.
Yeah, Sharif and I are quite similar. My husband is the type of person that's going to go in. If we go out, we're going to go to party. He'll find a chair, he'll sit down, he'll say hello to everybody, blah blah. I'm the one that's like, "Hi, I'm Teresa. What are you doing?" You know, like if you go to a wedding and you're just sat down with random people. I'm not going to sit at a wedding for 3 hours while we're eating and not talk to the people on the table.
Everyone,
yeah, that's how I am.
My husband's cool. He'll chill back. If you talk to him, he'll talk to you. Me, I'm the first one to be like, "Hi, I'm Teresa. Who are you?"
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in your face and be like, "Yeah, so tell me about your life." If I feel your vibe, I'm gonna interact.
Feed off of it. Yeah.
And I think that works because where I can be a bit, I'm an extrovert sometimes. My husband is an introvert. He can calm me down. He can say, "Okay, T, this is not time.
He's doing too much, honey."
Yeah, exactly. He's doing too much. Like, hey, sit down. Let's just sit down today. And there's times where I'm just like, "No, babe, you know what? You need to get up and have fun."
And that's what I mean. Yin and yang, it works. It works for me anyway. In my experience, it works. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes I'm fiery or something's pissing me off, but you know that your person, your number one, is sitting next to you to calm you down.
Yeah,
that kind of just helps. That makes you feel even better, even if you're like, you know. So I feel like that
you definitely have to bounce off each other. Otherwise, what you do? You can't both do it. They're screaming and there's no result.
It's not going to work. It's going to be Malcolm and Maria. That's what it will be.
Yeah, exactly.
That was headache. Oh, please.
That was a 2-hour film where all you needed to say was, "Baby,
I'm sorry.
And thank you."
Yeah, it was very intense. I was like, hold on, why am I getting so invested and stressed about someone else's argument?
Can I just say, when this first episode started of Soulmate, I was watching it And then I had to fast forward because I thought, oh, this is an advert. This is an actual advert.
I thought it was an advert. I was like, what sort of cheesy American advert is this?
I literally took out my phone and I was going to text one of my girls and say, oh, maybe try this app. And then I saw the woman from, then I saw Sarah from the Succession. I thought, oh, I had to rewind it and think, oh, this is actually an advert for the actual
They
show.
did that on purpose because
it was so well done. It was
you guys
so
think
well
there'll be an app?
I started watching it when I fell asleep. So I was like, oh, okay, let me go and watch it the next day. And I was like, so when I first watched, I was like, what sort of cheesy crap American advert is this? And then I rewatched it, I was like, oh my God, it's the actual show. But they did that for a reason.
Yeah,
so I was like, that's so clever.
I literally had to rewind it because I was thinking to myself, oh, no, I had to rewind. When I fast forwarded, I thought, oh, is it part of the movie? Then I had
missed
to
a bit, yeah.
find out. It was really good. I really enjoyed episode 1. It was thought-provoking. It allowed us to actually think about relationships. Are you actually invested in a relationship for the purity of it? I love this person through the good, the bad, and no matter what, I'm going to stick with you. Or are you actually invested in it because society dictates that you should meet your partner, you should get married, have kids, or just be with someone, and you're meant to be happy. And then when you're not happy, then something's majorly wrong. And as we go on to the next episodes, we will see certain things. So it's actually a good show. Episode 2, we're ready to move on. Episode 2 is called The Lovers. It stars David Constable. He features in Billions, and Sonia Cassidy, she was in a program called Survivor. So this episode tells a story about a married professor who believes he's met his soulmate after secretly taking the test. But there are ramifications about taking the test, and there is causes and reactions to his actions. So, P, episode 2, The Lovers.
I actually really enjoyed it. I was like, this is juicy. It's great. But I just wish he didn't accept the number, because I was like, why? Everything is going well in your life. Why are you coming to mess it up for yourself? But this is what comes with what you guys were saying about curiosity killing the cat, because he was minding his own business and that's what he should have been doing. But it was obvious, the storyline from the beginning for me, from when he met her and then she told the story about she fell in love with this girl and blah 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 blah. It was, and then about a professor, and I was like, there's some link there somewhere, and then it came out. So I actually really enjoyed this episode, because I remember Shrupi, you were saying that you weren't really into it too much, but I thought, no, it was quite good.
I wasn't, and then after I was like, oh, this is actually all right.
Yeah, it was quite juicy. But what's unsettling me, obviously, the more episodes I'm watching, it's just that there's no continuation. They just leave you hanging. Like, you just have to assume.
What do you mean?
Like, the end of each episode so far, it's just.
Okay.
And
but this episode 2, it was a clear like what was going to happen.
No, yeah, but I mean, like,
finished.
It's finished. Yeah, he's finished. Obviously, no career, no job, no wife, no nothing, no home, no friends.
When I was watching it, I felt sorry for him at one point, and then I had to check myself, because I was like,
why? What did he actually do though?
The man was dating one of his students whilst he was married, lied that he wasn't dating her, made her seem crazy. She was all over the news, all over everything, made it seem as if she was making it up.
Was that true though?
Yeah, she went to rehab or wherever she went to, and then killed herself because of everything he did. Because
but did you believe it?
I didn't realize when he had the confrontation with the woman.
Exactly.
He actually did love her. And she goes, yeah, but you made her life hell. You lied. And you told everyone else. That's why he was finished, because his confession was practically on the tape she put out. So I felt sorry for him, because I was just like, it doesn't, like, a student loved him. It's not his fault. Until I realized, okay, wow, he actually really messed her life up and made her seem crazy to the point where she killed herself. So he deserved it. He deserved it.
I think it's so cleverly done, her revenge, but it just has like, you have to be at such a low point in your life to go to that degree to actually sleep with him.
Hell,
like, I was like,
did they actually though? Do you think they didn't show that they did?
They did. She had sex with him. He had sex, and that's why he was so eager to go back and meet. But then let's rewind quickly.
I was hoping that they hadn't. That's why I asked.
You are a married man, lovely house. I get he was also a married man that was insecure, and I think that's where the curiosity came into it, because he was married to a woman who his father was
successful, yeah,
and his father looked down on him. And I think one of the reasons why he took the test was to see whether or not he could find someone, and then that person's going to love him as the man that he's meant to be. I don't think his wife didn't love him as the man he's meant to be, but I think subconsciously, because the way she spoke to him at the end, you can kind of tell that she kind of wore the trousers a little bit, or she dictated in their relationship because of her dad. So I think that's why he secretly took the test. That's my view of it. And then, you know, life is good, life is great, you're a bit insecure, so you've taken the test. Just leave it at that. When if you know that your results are meant to be hidden, and this woman's come to find you, the first thing you're doing is going to the and say, "Wagwan, fam, like, this is what needs to happen." But again, curiosity kills the cat. And I also think, like, are people that naive? Like, you've been married for so long, you know this person inside and out. You naturally, like we've already discovered, relationships are gonna have their ups and downs. But some woman is gonna come to you and tell you you're my soulmate, and then you're just gonna be like, fam, I got to find out whether this is true love. Like,
yeah, but wouldn't you want to? But forget you guys are in relationships now. Forget it. In the sense of, wouldn't you just want to know if someone's coming to say, based off of this experiment, you wouldn't want to know? You just shut it down and never hear about it again.
For me personally, I wouldn't. I don't think so. I think, again,
you'd always be wondering, it's a what if scenario.
Okay,
but I mean, like, forget that obviously you're in relationships, you're in love with your husband.
I get it.
Yeah.
But Paulina, let's face it, this is science, yeah? Science has dictated that there is this soul gene. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking
But have you watched Married at First Sight Australia?
I have.
One couple still together from the science experiment.
But that's different, because they do tests. They look at how you think about things. They look at your reasoning. They look at but this is different. This is a soul particle. This is a particle. This show is looking into your eye. They're finding some particle in your eye. I think taking the test, and then they're matching you with somebody else that's got the same sort of particle. Now, I get it. It's all fiction, but like, this is science. Like, since when, after all these years, and don't forget, episode 1 was only set in 2023, so that is only 2 years from now. Yeah. At what point in life? And I get it. Again, I reiterate, it is a TV program where scientists have, you know, discovered cures for so many diseases, whatnot, this, that, boohoo. Are you now going to believe that there's a soul particle that's going to find your soulmate?
There are some good scientists out there.
Fair enough. But me personally, to answer your question, I would not. I would be curious, just as I'd be curious, just as curious. Like, if you're single and you're looking for someone, you want to be curious to find out who that person is.
I think even if I was in a relationship,
I'm not going to go and take a test that's going to then tell me that this man from Arizona is going to be my.
And I'll take your baggage and go into
Arizona.
I mean, I'm too, like, obviously, I'm just too, like, oh my God, I'd want to know. I'd have to know, just to settle my own, like, personal whatever. But
you get there, and someone totally different from what you normally go for. Like, when I say totally different,
if you're based off this show, if you're telling me this is my person,
totally the opposite, what would you do?
I mean, if you're telling me
exactly, then it's not true love, because what is a soulmate?
You're attracted to them.
Exactly. What is a soulmate? What is it?
And but how comes in the show they are immediately like, yeah, this is it?
Because when you think about a soulmate, yeah, let's extrapolate the science behind it. When normal human beings think about soulmate, they think about that person that's going to know them inside out, that when they're crying, that person's going to come and hug them, that person's going to love them. When they're happy, that person's happy. They almost, I guess, and I could be wrong, viewers, let me know. When people think about soulmates, they kind of think about your traditional soulmates, that is, you kind of think about the person that is exactly like you, yeah, in every sense of the way. So you guys just click, you understand? And So when someone says, I found my soulmate, in especially with episode 2, he's like, oh, this person's just like me. Whereas his wife wasn't like him. And so he's thinking that I'm going to find someone that's actually going to uplift me when I'm sad and, you know, and on my feet and all this kind of stuff. So reasoning goes out the window, because reasoning went out the window for this man.
Yeah.
And when things started when things were dodgy, that's when he was like, just like in episode 1, reasoning went out of the window for the husband. He started crying when his wife was talking, and she was like, and I didn't take it. She had reasoning then. Do you understand? She was about to take the test, and she realized, I've got a man that loves me. I've got kids. I've got a lovely house, car, whatever. Why am I finding the soulmate? I've got my soulmate right here. He, on the other hand, wasn't thinking about reasoning. He was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I need to find this person that's going to make me happy, blah, blah, blah. And then when he did, he kind of realized, actually, this is no different to my wife.
But back to episode 1, I feel like he wasn't really into her from the beginning, looking at it. So I think it was his out as well, because
I think he was just a poor actor.
Oh, well then.
He wasn't bad. I don't think he emulated him.
No, but the way she was all over him, he was never reciprocating that to a degree. Even when she was trying to lip sync him at the wedding, sorry, you would do what you got to do in that scenario. You would be like,
sorry, I'm with the man in that regard.
I'm speaking for myself, I guess, because what are you talking about?
When she took him into the corridor, she wanted to have sex in the cubbyhole.
Yeah,
and their friends were there.
The friends were there.
Was watching them.
Come on, Paulina. And you like, don't come to my house with your man when I have a party and try and have sex in one of my rooms.
I want to enjoy the full thing. How am I now going to scare that my mom is going to walk in and say, what's that you doing? Or a child is going to run past going, can I use your phone, please? Like,
spontaneity is fine. You can be spontaneous, that's fine.
Just showed myself there, didn't I?
Time and a place. Do you know what I mean? And I think he was well within his rights. I do. Yeah. There's a part of me that does believe that he could have just like kissed her.
Yeah, he could have done.
That's what I'm saying. Just a little something, not like no.
But then say, babe, let's continue this at home. But he was like, bitch, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. He was losing interest in her because remember when she walked over to his brother's wife and he was like, we're talking, and it was just like, that's rude. Do you remember that bit?
Yeah, the party.
He wasn't interested. He's not interested. That's why he took the test.
Then yeah, but do you not?
No, but she was rude first. He didn't say we're talking. She just came out and made what he was talking about
boring.
Dumb.
Yeah,
boring. Going, oh, why do you want to listen to what he's saying? And she was like, actually, I do like. So she just interjected where she.
That's awkward.
She made it awkward. So it was a bit like.
He made it awkward of his response.
No, she started it first.
She embarrassed.
Talking. Oh, what are you guys talking about? And he was talking about himself, and she was like, oh, I don't think she wants to listen to your boring stuff. I bet, albeit that she was joking. She was joking though.
She was joking, but the tone she said it in, I think it depends. You know your other half better than a lot of people do. You should know that's his trigger. Like,
no, because they're already arguing. I think
that. Yeah, if I did that, he would just laugh. He'd be like, come on, babe. Like, move. Yeah. I'm talking, and it'll be done. But again, because they were arguing before, but again, I think it would have been the same even if they weren't arguing in that aspect. That but yeah, I don't know. I think this whole soulmate thing, we'll see how the whole episodes.
I like that they all interlink, because when I thought it was just a new episode altogether. Not that it's still about soulmates. Obviously, the whole thing's called Soulmates.
No, it's different stories.
That's what I know. It's a different story, but I didn't realize that obviously it's gonna. I sound retarded, but obviously Soulmate is the precipice. That's the way. It is the emphasis of the show. So I just thought like it wasn't gonna be. It's a different story, but they still incorporate Soulmate. So I like that.
The episodes are. The foundation of the episodes is about the soul gene, but it tells us the stories of different people. Back to the lovers. This professor, I feel that he was just he was a
bit of a creep though. Think about it.
Yeah, he charged at the girl.
Yeah, when they were flirting in his office.
Like, why would you do that, knowing that your father-in-law is your boss?
And then why would you be surprised that she's coming to your room when you're flirting with her? Like, no.
Yeah, that was scary because he's thinking that.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah. But he's been flirting with her.
someone
So
else.
why would I be surprised?
And this is the thing. He could have not won the case, or he could have beaten this woman if he had gone to that girl and said, I know that you've been working with this lady to try and get at me, so you need to go and tell the deans or the board that
talk to him.
They weren't working together.
She wouldn't. No, she was gonna get. No, they weren't working together. No, they weren't. She said she was gonna get her to then say,
okay, fine.
But then every evidence would have been against him anyway because she had cloned his phone. So either way, what was on that
pictures,
phone, it wouldn't have mattered. That's why he needed her phone to either delete everything or use it as evidence to say, look, she cloned my phone and this is what she's done. But again, he could have probably won it because it would have looked like the sister has come back for him in revenge. If he had planned it well and taken her phone to show, look, this is what's happened. But he was stupid.
But she already had a plan. She was forward thinking because she knew potentially he can find me. She still had a camera recording anything for anything.
My thing is, when did she press start on the record?
She's probably one of those people that have recorded all the time.
That would be playing from time. But it's true though, because he couldn't have how did she know that he was going to come that day? Do you know what I mean?
And how did she know?
It's all
and the way they met at the door.
And she goes, how did you know where I live? So he didn't even know who she was. She didn't know that he knew who she was. Like,
she was shocked when he saw her at her door.
That's a good point, Sharif. At what point when she got into that house, or maybe because we don't see it, because you know when he was rummaging through her things.
Oh yeah, she may have pressed
she might have done it at that point. She might have done it at that point. I thought that she was very clever to let him believe that his life was going well, because it was 11 months later that he was doing his swiping, and then it's like all the recording came out. So for months he's thinking, oh, my life is going good, he's gonna get his promotion, and then next minute
he was putting it all together, building the case.
That's what I'm saying. It was that's dedication and patience. You know, a lot of people, like if I was in that situation, I'm rushing in it. I'm trying to next day. I'm trying to get it.
You only have you've only got one shot. Sorry.
but also it would ruin her life because you saw her face at the end. Because her husband's gonna know your revenge was so much more important than our marriage because you went to sleep with another guy. So again, she knows that's supposed to be her life.
Who's responsible for your sister killing herself? You have to be some sort of warped as well to be doing that, because what's that?
That's what I'm saying. I just found that really weird. But again, it's going back to, you know, people's, I guess this show, the whole premise of Soulmates, and again, next week when we talk about episodes 3 and 4, we will see that people's idea of love is very different. It doesn't matter whether you're married, whether you're single, whatever, your idea of love and what love means to you is very different, because if you truly believe in love and that you love the person that you're with, the testing won't matter. But I think subconsciously, whatever the term soulmate means to human beings, it has that effect. It can have that effect that people are literally just going to go out and act a fool kind of thing. So I don't know. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the next couple of episodes will take us. As T said, very excited. So well, this brings us to a big close. Thank you for joining us on episode 3 of Fully Geek Ladies, and we will see you next week for episode 4. All right, have a good week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.